Can't Wait for Christmas is a proud member of the Christmas Podcast Network.
Hey, buddy, what you doing?
Is it Christmas yet?
No, sorry, not yet.
I can't wait for Christmas.
Yeah, I can't wait for Christmas either. In fact, let's celebrate now.
Welcome to the Can't Wait for Christmas podcast.
It's July 25th, 2025, and that means there's 5 months left until Christmas. It also means it's the 10th anniversary of the Can't Wait for Christmas podcast and the 5th anniversary of our made-for-podcast Christmas movie, A Bomb for Christmas. To celebrate, I've invited the movie's lead actors to come to the Christmas Cave to talk about their experiences making the movie, what they've been up to since, and what's in their future. Okay, let's start the show! Greetings, you believers, and welcome to the 10th anniversary episode of the Can't Wait for Christmas podcast. The podcast all about Christmas history, Christmas traditions, Christmas media, and everything else Christmas. I'm your host, and maybe the first person ever to think of making a Christmas movie on a podcast, Tim Babb. To be honest, when I started this podcast in July of 2015, I had no idea we'd still be doing it a decade later. I just thought there was a podcast for every kind of niche out there. Maybe there was room for a podcast about Christmas. They have podcasts that talk about football when it's not football season, podcasts that talk about TV shows that have been off the air for decades. Maybe there was room for a podcast that talked about Christmas all year long. And thanks to you, we've been going longer than the Beverly Hillbillies, The Love Boat, How I Met Your Mother, Night Court, or The Flash. In that time, we've done some deep dives into A Charlie Brown Christmas, Scrooged, It's a Wonderful Life, and White Christmas. We've learned more about the singers of great Christmas music like Bing Crosby, Mariah Carey, Andy Williams, and Nat King Cole. We've got to learn the often surprising history behind traditions like mistletoe, Secret Santa, Christmas cards, and fruitcake. We got to talk with cool people like Straight No Chasers Jasper Smith, author and film critic Alonzo Duralde, the original cast of the Mousetalgia podcast, and Grammar Girl herself, Mignon Fogarty. We celebrated Muppet-Vember every year and got to know about some of our favorite Henson creations like Muppet Family Christmas, Muppet Christmas Carol, and Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. We went to the very first Christmas Con in New Jersey. We spent a whole year picking the best version of Jingle Bells. Another year choosing the best Christmas food. We even spent a whole year answering the question, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? But perhaps most amazingly, in 2020, when the world was locked down and we were all dealing with a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, I had the goofy idea to make a movie on a podcast. The idea being, what if Die Hard was a Hallmark Christmas movie? So I put out a call to the listeners, and amazingly enough, some people wanted to do it. So I wrote a new chunk of the script each month, send it out to our actors, and they record their voices and send them to me, and I'd splice it all together. We put out one act a month from April to December of 2020. Of course, if you're a subscriber of the podcast, you've been hearing the 5th anniversary re-release every Wednesday in July. But now, I've invited the lead actors and actresses to the Christmas Cave to celebrate the 5th anniversary of A Bomb for Christmas. So let's go around and introduce everybody one by one, starting with my lovely wife, Dynelle, who played Holly McTiernan.
Hello.
Brendan Scherb as Bobby McTiernan.
Hello.
Emily Scherb as Alana Rikmanovich.
Hello.
That was a mouthful. Jeffrey Cronin as the Russian voice.
Hello.
Kristen Cronin as Tracy Chabert.
Hi.
A name I never intended to have both first and last said right after each other, so it wouldn't be so obvious. Trish Healy as Betty.
Good morning. Coffee, anyone?
Edward Frizzell as George.
Good evening.
Justin Ginger as Gern Blanston.
Live on scene.
And featuring our special podcaster guest stars, Mike Westfall from the Advent Calendar House podcast as Captain Willis.
Oh, it me. Hi.
Noah from the Tancast podcast as Joe McCringleberry.
Hello.
And some guy named Tim from some other podcast as the narrator. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hey.
So we made this movie, 5 years ago? And I just it was funny because I was re-listening to like some of the episodes leading up to it. And I was like, oh, I think it would be a fun idea to make a movie in February. And then I sent out the cast. I think that's when I sent out the casting call and you guys all responded. And then in March, of course, we all had nothing better to do. because it was 2020. When I made the casting call out when you guys responded, what did you guys think? What did you think it was going to be versus what it was? And we'll just go around. I'll start with Trish because she's in my upper left-hand corner.
I thought it was going to be fun, Tim, because you're just such a hilarious guy. It would just, like you said, give us something to do and something to look forward to, because we're all stuck in our homes during this time.
So true. Edward?
I remember being very excited for it and very desperate to be involved. I remember when you put your call out for people to audition, I was like, I can do an American accent as well if you need it to be American.
You did a pretty good American accent, I have to say.
And well, thank you. You went for the English accent, which was wise, I think.
It sounded more authoritative and that would be the distinguished older guy in the Hallmark movie. I was like, oh, that's perfect.
The problem was, though, I seem to have subconsciously gone a bit over the top with my own accent. I'm not sure I even sound realistic as English.
I mean, to Americans it does, so you nailed it.
Great.
Mike, you're already on a podcast, and you actually I'll audition for this. I'm like, you could have just said, "Hey Tim, I want to be in it."
I don't know how rigid your casting was going to be. So I was just happy to be part of it. Thank you for making me a part of this.
Jeffrey?
I didn't realize that I'd be channeling my inner 30-year-old female police officer when asked to play a Russian bad guy. I don't know if that would have colored my readings, but so maybe it was best not to tell me.
Kristen?
Yeah, I remember my dad came up to me. We were living together at the time because I was still in college, and he knew how much I wanted to do voice acting. And he was like, please do this thing with me. It would be really fun. I didn't expect anything to come of it, but I had a really good time when I was cast. And it was a very fun thing to talk to my dad about. We'd be like, oh, did you read the new pages? How are things going? How are your recordings going? And we actually ended up auditioning together in his walk-in closet. We had my little microphone and we were just going for it. And it was really fun because we kind of directed each other. All that to say, it was just, I didn't expect anything to come out of it, but I'm really glad something did come out of it.
Oh, awesome. The Scherbs?
Hello.
So yeah, I don't know. Emily got the call and she, had a lot of fun with all the kids, kind of practicing the line and.
Yeah, it was a really fun thing to do as a family. The kids, to have the kids singing and practicing with them, and then to have their little voices memorialized that way. We were listening to it last night, and they sound so cute with their little voices.
I was 2 years old.
Nora was.
I was 2.
Wait, were you 2? I should say Penny and Griffin they're also here on the call, and they were also in the movie as well.
Mm-hmm. I only sang. That's all I really did. I was 2. What do you?
Oh. Justin? We have some technical difficulties with Gern Blanston. We'll come back to him in the field.
Oh no, the Martians got him.
Okay, he said, move on, I'll switch mics. My impression of him is amazing. Then my lovely wife, you didn't really get a choice in this.
Yeah, I don't know that I shared in the enthusiasm that everyone else did.
Oh, I can co-sign on that.
But you guys also had the opportunity to read the lines, how you thought and your own interpretation, where I had him let's try that again. A little more oomph in this one. And I was like, I will show you oomph. Come on.
Well, because I was for the main character, I was I needed to be someone I can be okay, do that again and do it differently. It is very tenuous directing your wife in something that she was not even I really want to do this.
But she was the star, so it had to be.
I know.
It had to be nursed.
Yeah.
Hey, but you guys made it through, and you're still married 5 years later, right? So it can't be that bad.
But
That's
I
true.
have to say, listening back, like I was so impressed with the rest of you. And I was like, I do have to up my game. Especially Tracy. I'm like, gosh, it sounds so good. But when I listen to myself, I'm like, that sounds hokey. So I don't know how you guys found that happy balance. And it was probably because your husband wasn't in your face.
For me, it was my wife telling me, nope, do it again. Nope, do it again. That's not right.
Well, I had also been in theater a lot of my life, like middle school through high school. So I was kind of used to the idea of needing to be directed a certain way. And so I would give Tim several takes. I was like, all right, let's try this line this way. Let's try this line this way. And I think my dad did the same thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, my motivation or whatever, or like, what am I really thinking? Or what, rather, not what I'm thinking, what is Tim thinking? What is Tim?
I mean,
hearing in
no
his
one
head?
knows what Tim is thinking.
And so I would just do line readings a couple of ways, hoping that something sounded like what he was expecting.
And Tracy, I'm sorry, Kristen.
Sorry. I only know you as Tracy.
That's okay.
Like you would give so many like vastly different readings of the same line that there was one time when there was a problem with your audio and some of it didn't record. But you recorded one line 3 different ways, so I was able to use that same line it was something where Mike's character was asking you something over and over again, and you didn't really have an answer. So the way you answered with your non-answer 3 different ways from the first take, I was like, that is actually funnier than what I wrote.
So what is it you're working on?
You don't want to know.
Don't tell me. The Tirapelli case? We handed that case over to the FBI and Homeland Security. You've been talking to Holly about this case?
I think I also gave you several takes on things, especially when we were in the helicopter. It's just like, I'm going to give you 2 versions. One where I'm yelling because helicopters are loud, and one in case the others in the helicopter didn't do that, so it wouldn't sound like I was just screaming at them.
Oh, yeah. I was telling my dad about that, how much I hated recording that, because Tim came back to me and he's like, oh my gosh, Mike brought up this really good point. You guys would be yelling if it's a helicopter. And I went,
dear.
That is really smart. And I hated
Didn't mean to
it.
give you all extra work. Whoops.
Get us out of here, Cap.
What about Holly?
She said to go now.
Hold on.
And I'm sure super awkward when you're recording by yourself, like in your own house, you're like, especially if anybody's in the other room, like, what are you yelling about?
Yeah, I waited for my roommate to be out to record those lines because I was like, I don't want him hearing me yelling in my closet.
Noah, similarly, I just sort of grabbed you and I was like, hey, we were recording our other podcast. I was like, hey, can you just say these lines real quick?
I mean, I was surprised you didn't want me to do a Russian accent. I was like quite offended.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
Oh, would you like to give them your famously good Russian accent?
I mean, no.
No, go right ahead. Let's hear it.
The people want it, Noah. You brought it up. You put the quarter in, the jukebox got to play the song.
Yeah. And
I don't
then
know if you guys are ready for this.
and follow it with a really evil laugh.
Okay. Mother Russia.
So I mentioned I would do a podcast with 2 other guys, and I had Andy, who was on the show, and he played a Russian guy. And then Noah's like, "Oh, you don't want me to play a Russian guy?"
My Russian accent is notoriously bad. Yeah, it was a cool experience. As Tim mentioned, we've been roommates in the past until this homewrecker came along. And I've heard different things that Tim has worked on throughout the years, and yeah, it was cool to be a part of it outside of like the podcast that we normally do. Yeah, I mean, as Tim has seen my acting many years ago. I think the last time I acted was in the 8th grade, so not my strong suit, but
but as an entertaining video to watch. I mean, I don't know where you're ever going to find a copy of it. I saw it on his VHS, but good times.
Yeah, it was cool to hear it all come together and meet now see all you people that more involved.
Yeah, it's funny that I called this a reunion. We've never met. I should say, Justin, it sounds like your mic is not working, but he said he would just, but he's here. And if you have anything you want to put in the chat, I will read it out for you. I think this happened during our 5th anniversary episode 5 years ago, where someone's audio dropped out halfway through, and I just kept reading the answers to their questions in chat.
The part of Justin will now be played.
How good is Justin at charades?
Yeah.
So the way we did it, which if I were doing it over again now, I definitely would not, was I wrote the scripts every month for that specific act and then sent them to you guys.
Oh.
I imagine that was difficult because, like, you guys wouldn't know, like, well, where's my character going after this? Or, you know, where is the story ultimately going? Like, what level should I be at? And also it was difficult for me because once I got to writing the later acts, I'm like, man, I really wish I could go back and rewrite the first act or the second act specifically, because George and Betty have like a romantic relationship that sort of starts up midway through the movie, because I didn't think to put, like, they have a whole interaction in Act 2 where they couldn't seem to care. Like, and it's not, I want to make sure, you know, that's not on the actors. It's because that subtext was not in the script yet, because I hadn't thought of it yet. But I think the Scherbs may have had it worse because one of you knew you were the villain and the other did not. You guys want to talk about that?
Yeah, that was really fun because I would tell him false information because I wanted him to enjoy the experience of the reveal like everyone else. So I would tell him things that weren't true to lead him off the trail. I'd say, oh, yeah, you know, she's going to do this. And it was a lot of fun.
I love that.
And now I can never trust her again. So.
Also, I was writing the story to sort of make it seem like Bobby was the villain. So did you think, and I don't know if you did it purposely, but you played some of the ones as if like, oh, I could be the villain, I could be not. Did you like, I don't know where he's going with this, I should probably play it this way, or?
A little bit, yeah, because like I'm generally like a very silly person too. So like some of the lines, I really wanted to ham them up. But then Emily's like, no, don't do that. Keep it like, oh, so where's this going? I don't know. You know, but so I wasn't quite sure. I thought there was a chance that this could turn.
And it was good. You played it beautifully down the middle until like the reveal is that you are, in fact, by the way, hopefully people didn't jump on this episode and not listen to the movie, which is why I've been releasing it all month.
Spoilers above.
Spoilers.
Exactly. I probably should have said some before now. So, and you also did a great job of playing it down the middle, because there's like a whole scene where Holly and Alana have like a whole scene together, and it's supposed to just seem like, you know, girl talk in one of these Hallmark movies, but it's actually the villain sizing up her adversary.
So, did you grow up here?
Born and raised.
But you're a detective in Seattle. That's got to be a heck of a commute all the way to the 14th precinct.
Yeah, it can be. Wait, how'd you know my precinct?
What can I say? Bobby talks about you a lot.
And then Jeffrey, I think you and Emily are the only ones who knew the twist. Oh wait, I told you? I can't remember if I even told you the twist.
I don't know.
Sorry, when I
She
say
stopped
you,
listening to you long ago.
when I say you, podcast listeners, I was turning towards my wife.
I don't think you told me at first. I think you told me before the reveal, but the first few episodes I didn't know.
Oh, Navy SEALs.
And then what I really appreciate was that you told me that you were enjoying what was happening with the dual personality thing. So you wrote in a new scene where she uses her accent even though she doesn't have to. And I thought that was great.
I laughed at that part because she goes, "Why are you still using the decoder?" And she goes, "Oh, never mind."
I don't have time for this. Bobby and Joe are exiting the hotel. Blockade the lobby. Do not let them escape.
Wait, why are you talking in that voice?
I am hiding my identity.
But I already know who you are.
What?
I mean, do your goons not know who you are?
Of course they do. They are my family. We all used to work at the restaurant.
Then why the stupid voice?
I do not have time for this.
Yep, I did that just so we could hear you one more time before the end.
and I appreciated that. I was like, let's pad my part a little.
Same with Tracy and the Chief. Once I got so much stuff back from you guys that was so good, I'm like, I'm going to work them back into the story. And that whole helicopter rescue was because I liked your part so much.
I remember you telling me that. You were like, actually, the part ended up going a little bit with you. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm famous.
Well, then, Edward and Trish, you had the heavy lifting to do, like, just a sort of a straight up Hallmark, like the boring parts of a Hallmark movie, while being cut back and forth between you, my wife, being doing the Die Hard part of it in it. So, like, it was not moving the narrative forward, but it was sort of those scenes in a Hallmark movie that you need to have of like, oh, look, we're doing this, and like there's romance budding. And so like, was that meaty enough that you felt like you were enjoying it, or were you like, what is the point of this scene? How long are we going to talk about these gingerbread houses?
I just loved, sinking into that world really, and imagining being in that Hallmark movie. So I quite enjoyed it, and just being able to go through, all the standards of Christmas and pretend it was Christmas when it really wasn't at the time.
Now, George Walker, don't pretend like you haven't run this festival for years.
Yes, but Bobby's been doing such a great job this year, and I wanted to make sure your the Gingerbread House contest is the best ever this year.
Let me let you in on a little secret, George. You don't need Bobby for that.
I will say about the twist, though, I didn't believe it even after it happened. So I was still all in Camp Bobby. I was kind of like, no. Even though it's established it's not him, I was like, no, but he's going to turn at the end. Just wait. And, I was trying to second guess it.
Yeah,
sorry.
Bobby who can't recognize his wife from 3 feet away.
Yeah, exactly.
The Bomb for Christmas 5-year reunion will be back after this.
So this was not supposed to be a commercial break, or really a break at all. We just had some technical difficulties and our audio cut off right here. But while we're waiting for them to fix it, I wanted to throw in a few fun facts about the movie we didn't get to during this discussion. Port Caldwell is a completely fictional town, but it's based on my mom's hometown of Port Townsend. In fact, there are several characters named after my family members. Speaking of names, Holly and Bobby's last name, McTiernan, is an homage to the director of Die Hard, John McTiernan. The villain character, Alana Rickmanovich, was named after the late Alan Rickman, who played the villain Hans Gruber in Die Hard. Also, the Scherb's 2 older kids, Penny and Griffin, play characters named Kimberly and Brandon, who win a Christmas sweater contest with a cat-themed Christmas sweater. That was a shout-out to Kimberly Susted and Brandon Ruth and their cat-themed Hallmark movie, The 9 Lives of Christmas. And speaking of shout-outs to Hallmark movies, in the scene where George and Betty are judging the Gingerbread House contest, they name-drop at least a dozen Hallmark Christmas movie names like Christmas at Cartwright's, Sweetest Christmas, Gingerbread Romance, and tons more. Oh, okay, I think they've got the audio fixed.
Now back to the Bomb for Christmas reunion.
I think the relationship between George and Betty, I guess it was, I thought that was kind of sweet, and how at first it seemed to be all George and Betty seemed oblivious, and then out of nowhere she's like, alrighty, that sounds like a great idea.
Once again, that's writing it as you go along. I'm like, Trish, you're super into him now. Go.
Well, you know what? You guys, you all sound more experienced than I do. And I wanted to get into voiceover. And because of this, I'm like, oh, I'm going to try it. And then it got me really excited. And so after I finished working on the Bomb with Christmas, or actually I think while we still were doing it, I started taking voiceover classes. Aww. And so I would just do one take and send it in, because I don't know about you guys, I'm very technical. I'm better now, but I was tech challenged. And so I would go into my closet and do it on my iPhone. And then after that, I was doing it with QuickTime, I think, player. But I didn't know if I made a mistake, I would have to just scrap the whole thing and restart again, because I didn't know how to edit it. Now I know better.
Oh, yeah. Especially on the phone, that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every time rhododendron came up, that was my, no, don't make me say that word, because that was my terrible word. But I had fun. Yes, I think as it went on, I got more comfortable doing it. And I wish I had some self-direction. It's sort of nice. I mean, not self-direction. I had self-direction. I wish I had outside direction. But it was really fun. And Tim, I thought it was well organized. I knew what was expected, and like you had the parts all highlighted. So it was always exciting to get the email to see what was coming up next. So it was fun. And also I've just learned that, and especially in voiceover, you're on your own in your booth. So you don't have that person to play off of. And so it's like, oh, George, really? And then you're like, well, I don't even know what George is doing, but
it was amazing that you guys' levels really matched each other, even though like you never met, didn't record together. Obviously, I was very impressed. Pretty much the entire cast, but specifically when like couples were interacting, like, oh, that is the energy matches even without. Like, I don't know why directors say this is hard. Clearly it's not. You just give them the script.
But the only thing, Tim, is I'm like, what happens to George and Betty? Okay, we figured out the bomb.
Yes.
We got the Christmas initiative. Everyone's happy. And I'm like, all right, what about George and Betty? What's going on with them?
They get married and live happily ever after?
Beautiful.
Nice.
I do want to say, Justin said in the chat, like Trish, doing this reignited my passion for theater. Since A Bomb for Christmas, I joined a local theater company. I got to play Bob
excellent.
Cratchit a few years ago. So
nice.
good on you, Justin.
Oh, fun.
Nice.
That's
Amazing.
Noah, I remember we were talking about it. Your lines are almost entirely, what? Huh? You were just there to make other characters explain what's going on.
What is this?
It's the deed to your ill-gotten restaurant. And you're going to sign it over to me.
Why would I do that? And I maybe give me a direction like, I can't remember what direction you'd be like, can you sound a little bit more surprised? Or like, sure, maybe. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, because I am. Yeah, you guys at least had the script and at least knew what the movie was going on up until then. Like, Noah doesn't come in towards the end. And I'm like, can you just say these words?
I was not in on the whole process that you all were in on. I was like getting script revisions.
To that end, does anybody have a either favorite or least favorite? I run it under and sounds like least favorite for Trish, but is there a favorite or least favorite line that you recorded? Let's start with the Scherbs.
Oh, the kids love to tease me about the lines I was reading, and I was on the edge of the building. When I'm talking like I'm falling, they're like, you will still lose. Maybe I can't win, but you will still lose. They say that all the time. So that was fun. It really was fun to say lines in distress or fighting or to do things like that. So the villain lines are great too. I always wondered, would I rather play a hero or villain? I think I know. Villains have more fun. Not that she was a villain.
Yeah, I think for me, the one that I enjoyed was retelling the story of how I escaped from being tied in the chair. And that you fell, didn't you? Yes.
Then I executed a cunning escape plan.
The chair tips over and breaks, and Bobby is free.
You freaked out, fell over, and the chair broke.
I freaked out, fell over, and the chair broke.
I have to say, Bobby was kind of like my stand-in for me. Like this, I'm like, this is what I think I would say in this situation. Like always with like not quite a dad joke, but like a quip. Like there's one part where you say like,
whoa, what are the odds?
Don't tell her. She might try and bet on those odds.
Really, Bobby? Now?
Sorry, it seemed like we could use a tension breaker.
And then she makes a joke and you're like...
It's weird that it's called the Russian kitchen because it seemed like everyone in that kitchen was taking their sweet time.
So wait, we are doing jokes now?
Yeah, I love that part. That was one of my favorite parts. I thought that was very clever.
Yep, I like that too.
Mike?
I always like the lines where I just get fed up, and it was just like, oh, no one's listening to me. Or at the end, they said something, oh, did you hear that? They're letting the FBI do their job. Also, it didn't click to me until after that first episode came out. It's just like, oh, you named him Captain Willis. I gave him the wrong voice. So now I had to stick with that
I still
anymore.
love the voice you chose.
Oh, no, I'm fine with it, but it's just
it was definitely like the like 80s 90s movie police captain who was like had enough of it, which is exactly what I was writing in my head.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Just like gruff police chief / Sam the Eagle. Just why am I here?
When I made you Holly's partner, I hoped you'd make her less of a workaholic, not the other way around.
I don't know what to tell you, Cap. You seem to hire a lot of workaholics.
I gotta start putting that question on the application.
Oh my gosh! Now that you say Sam the Eagle, I can totally hear it, and I love it even more. Justin, I know you don't have a mic, but I don't know if you... I think we talked about this, that your character was named after a Steve Martin skit.
A lot of you people are saying, hey, this is Steve Martin, your real name. And finally, it's time I could admit it. It's not my real name. When I first started in show business, my manager suggested that I change my name because they thought the other name was funny sounding. And so I changed it to Steve Martin. And now I think enough time has gone by and the audience has gotten a little more sophisticated. And I'm going to go back and start using my real name. And I don't think people will laugh when they hear my real name is Gern Blanston. I'll be doing a show this fall on TV, the Gern Blanston Show. A couple albums coming out. The first one will be just Gern. Second one, simply Gern. Do a couple of movies, Gern Goes to College. And doing some cassette tapes to learn with Gern, language things. So now I only answer to the name Gern Blanston. This is the new thing for Gern.
Like a lot of the things were named after random references to like either Die Hard or Hallmark movies. But for some reason, Steve Martin did a skit where he said his real name was Gern Blanston. I'm like, that just sounds like a news reporter's name. And I decided since I needed a news reporter, that's what I would call him.
I think my favorite line was "No way." Like really summed up my character.
Oh no, I thought it was
recorded it 7 different ways just to get the nuance.
No way.
I actually brought the script. I was like, what did I say?
And as long as we're talking about character names, Noah's character was named after a Key and Peele skit where they name a bunch of like a bunch of football players, say their name, and they get increasingly ridiculous.
Oh,
the college football thing. Yeah.
Let's meet the players from the East.
The Jasper Probencrux III, South Carolina State University.
Leoz Maxwell Julios, East Carolina University.
Javaris and Lamar, University of Middle Tennessee.
Devoyne Showerhandle, University of Southern Mississippi.
Hingle McCringleberry, Penn State University.
We're going to be looking for big plays all game long from Tyrell Smoochie Wallace.
And let's not forget the tight ends, Ibrahim Moises and Hingle McCringleberry. They've both had amazing seasons.
That's right, Jeff.
And there was one named McCringle. I was like, I got to think of a generic football player sounding name. And then I happened to hit on that one. I was like, Kringle kind of has a Christmas vibe to it.
Yes.
And that's why I went with it.
I love that.
Trish, do you have a favorite or least favorite part?
Well, least favorite, the rhododendron, but I think the favorite part is like when I'm announcing the winners and finally I'm like warming up to George and like I'm like, oh George, and then like, ooh, the Christmas cottage. See you there. The eggnog lattes and you bring the cookies.
And our second place winner is...
Steve's lovely Christmas cottage.
I thought this one was great, Betty. Just looks so cozy and festive. A great place for a good old-fashioned gingerbread romance.
Oh, really?
On to our first place winner.
So that was kind of fun to do that. And I think I just start to like let go at that point too, to be more free and like not like, oh, am I doing this right? So I felt good in that part. So it was fun. And I was just really channeling all those Hallmark movies. Yes.
Kristen, least favorite parts?
I don't know if I had a favorite. I think maybe just like beginning to play Tracy and just kind of figuring out who she was and what she was doing. I think the scene where I'm woken up by Holly and I'm like, hello?
Hello?
Tracy, it's Holly.
What time is it?
No idea.
Because it's like so early in the morning. I feel like I really had fun with that just because I was like, oh, there's like different ways you can be sleepy when you wake up. And then my least favorite, like I already mentioned, was the helicopter scene just because I felt so crazy. I remember like turning on a sound for a helicopter in the background while I was recording just to feel like I could get the full effect of it. I put probably way too much pressure on that when you were like, no, that's so good. But that was definitely my least favorite. But I had a really good time with just generally all the lines. It was just so fun, and knowing that my part expanded a little bit so I could be part of more of the story was just really, really special to me.
Awesome. Edward?
My least favourite parts were probably, and you'll appreciate this, Tim, is anything where I had to say something that I didn't know how to pronounce. So Paul Caldwell or Caldwell, I really stuck on those. But the bit I enjoyed the most, and especially hearing it back after you put it all together, was when we were opening the show.
I think you'll find this year will be no exception, thanks to the hard work of George here.
Thank you, Mayor DeLeo. But I'll be honest, I've had it pretty easy this year, thanks to the young man right here. Where, you'd put in the reverb made it sound like it was huge, and there was the music in the background, and it gave me a real sense of being there. I mean, I grew up in a little village, and we'd have like fetes and things in the past. So it was quite nostalgic for me to have that kind of community spirit thing going on. So I just loved hearing those bits back.
Now, I should point out that Mignon Fogarty, who's not on this call but was there for that one episode, the host of the Grandma Girl podcast, was the mayor, and I was like, oh, we should make it sound like she's actually talking over a PA. I'm like, well, then everybody should be talking over a PA, and
yeah, it worked really well.
Jeffrey?
Well, and you had the Russian talking over a sound system.
Yes.
And so that sounded cool. And as for my favorite line, was actually something you did when I read the first episode I'm in. I decided to try my evil laugh. And so I put it at the end of one of my statements, and you cut it. And at first I was like, oh, he didn't like my laugh. And then you threw it in at the end as like a little punctuation mark. And I thought, oh, that was clever. I like that.
And you had better hurry, Mrs. McTurnan. There is not much time left.
Camera zooms in on Holly's face as her eyes blaze with anger. Interior, mystery location, day. We are in the same tiny dark room from the last break, and the digital timer continues counting down. End Act 3. Cut to commercial.
And it made me think of like Vincent Price at the end of Thriller.
Yes, exactly, because it ended that act. I was like, oh, that is such a good laugh to end the act break. Like it perfectly was like, End Act 3 or whatever it was.
Right. And then I did love the lines like, I don't have time for this, because.
Yes, because you're so like a sort of stereotypical evil voice until that last part where you're like, what? Now you're like doing a comedy bit.
Had fun with that. And though I tried so hard to figure out what a real Russian would sound like, and then I heard you're bad guy, and I'm like, I could have done that.
Yeah. I recently rewatched Muppets Most Wanted with the family, and if there's an imaginary listener who sounds like Kermit the Frog, my Russian guy is Constantine. Babe, did you have a favorite or least favorite part?
I didn't like the ones where I had to sound like I was in CSI, where I'm like, oh, Christmas is ruined.
I guess it turns out I'm the Grinch, because I just stole your Christmas.
I was just like, oh. But I appreciated the sarcasm between Bobby and I. Like,
Holly, what are you doing here?
What am I doing here? What are you doing here? And why are you pointing guns at me?
I didn't know that was you. And, in fairness, it was just one gun, not multiple guns.
Does now seem like the time?
I'm sorry.
Those I appreciated. I think it's because it's closer to true of who I am. Whereas the CSI stuff is more your gig than mine.
Yeah, I'm constantly running around doing CSI.
You owe it. you live for that.
For the listening audience, my wife took off her glasses and bit them like what's his name? David Caruso. So I wanted to talk about like what people have been up to since A Bomb for Christmas, and I wanted to start with Edward because you, midway through us doing this, started a podcast called That's Hindsight, and it's been going ever since. And it's awesome, and everybody should listen to it. Tell people about it.
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, it's called That's Hindsight, and it's a movie review show where we pick a film from the last 30 years, and we have a guest on each time and try and establish whether it holds up in hindsight under the current lens of things, and usually they don't. But or usually they're quite troublesome. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and we've been doing it ever since then. I probably didn't bring it up because I was a bit like, oh, this is quite embarrassing, or I don't know, it just didn't know whether it was any good or not. But yeah, it's kept going, which is nice.
I would have absolutely plugged it during A Bomb for Christmas if I had known it was a thing.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for bringing that up now. That's very kind of you.
Babe, what have you been up to since? Again, for the listeners, you can't see the daggers she's staring at me.
We see them though, Tim.
Just been living my best life, babe.
She just whipped her glasses off and said...
She would hit a guy with glasses.
She will not pull a punch.
And I should say, like, what you've been up to since doesn't necessarily have to be limited to, not you specifically, but like podcast related. Like if you have any other, ventures that you want to plug, now is a great time to do that. Kristen.
I mean, when I started the podcast, I was in college, so I finally graduated a couple of years ago. Thank you. As a 20-something, I'm just now starting my career in marketing. I don't have a lot of creative projects that I've been posting about. There's always something in the works. I've just never gotten to the chance to actually publish anything. But I am auditioning for a play this Wednesday because you kind of reminded me that I haven't done a lot of theater since college, and I know 2020 didn't help with some of that. And I was like, you know what? I think now is the perfect time to do that. So I'm going to be auditioning for The Importance of Being Earnest this Wednesday.
Ooh.
Congratulations.
As I believe the song goes, I hope you get it.
Thank you.
I hope you get it.
But that's really all I've been up to, is just kind of navigating adult life and just establishing myself and just trying to find the hobbies that I have time for, and theater being one of them.
Navigating adult life is tough.
It's hard.
Not fun.
No, it is not fun. I should say Justin is back in the chat, and he says, I'm a librarian, and since A Bomb for Christmas forced me to learn how to use Audacity, I started teaching podcasting to teens. Oh, you're the reason there's more podcasts than ever before. That's why there's 27 million podcasts in the Christmas Podcast Network now. I didn't actually finish what he wrote. Sorry, I decided to extemporaneous. Each summer since then, we've produced a variety of podcasts based on the teens' interests. They record the same closet I recorded at the library. Yes, I recorded my lines at work.
Well, good for you.
I mean, unless his boss is listening, in which case, no, he did not.
Oh, it was on his lunch break, Tim.
Yeah.
Trish, what have you been up to since?
Well, I retired from teaching after 38 years. I became a grandma of an almost 4-year-old now. And continued to take voiceover classes. And I started auditioning, sending in auditions for voiceover work this past April. So, and really,
congrats.
Thank you. And so, Tim, really, I think I emailed this to you after we were all done with The Bomb for Christmas. And it was because of this podcast. And when you asked for people to send in auditions, I was really scared and nervous, but I'm like, hey, just go for it and have fun. Cause it seems like you always are having so much fun, Tim. And I just had such a great time that I thought, you know what, I'm going to go do this because I've wanted to do voiceover for so long. So it was because this spurred me to take action and move forward with it. So
who says this podcast is useless?
I do.
That's why I was looking at you.
Wow. Not this one.
She whipped off her glasses again, folks.
Jeffrey, what have you been up to since?
Same old for me, except I thought you'd like to know, for reasons, I travel back and forth from Denver a couple of times a year. And one time I stopped off at a little city in Kansas, which is the Sweden of Kansas, and they had a Christmas festival. So my wife and I got a bed and breakfast, and we went up there, and they had the whole town's decked out, and they did a Santa Lucia festival for us. And so it was really great, and it felt nothing like Kansas. And I even sent a photo out from there that one of my kids thought it was Photoshop because it has me dressed as Doctor Who coming out of a little castle. And and I said, Toto, I don't think we're in. Well, never mind. We are. And so, yeah, it's a little Sweden, Lindsborg, Kansas, and it's a quaint little cobblestone main street. Small town, and they had a Christmas festival, and so I really enjoyed it.
Nice. The Scherbs. Let's check in with you guys. What have you been up to since?
Oh, well, the kids keep getting bigger, and so
they do that.
Just chase them around as they develop their interests that are more expensive and more time consuming. Following them around. Brendan coaches mountain biking and the kids swim. And Penny, the 10-year-old now, who is Kimberly, she wanted to say that she sang in the school's talent show this school year.
Ooh.
So she wanted us to say that she was really proud that she had the bravery to do that. And she, has the resume building up of being on a podcast, being a star in a podcast. So we're all very proud of that. We always mention how we're on a podcast. We're stars. You can go listen to it anytime.
Well, and I know coming out of it, you really wanted to pursue doing podcasts. So then we started buying all the equipment and things that kind of started. But then kids got busy.
And life. I can't narrow it down to an interest. It would be I have to narrow it down. But yeah, it's we were just chasing the kids around and having a good time.
As Noah and I can tell you, if you're not worried about having listeners, you don't have to narrow it down. You can just talk about whatever. Mike, what have you been up to since? I feel like you might have had some ventures I've heard about.
I mean, the same stuff I was doing before. I have a Christmas podcast. It's called the Advent Calendar House. It's a salute to all holiday specials, but mostly the Christmas ones. Ooh, excuse me. I dropped a dozen new episodes every December and a dozen in July. So you now have 12 brand new episodes to listen to this month. And I cover Christmas episodes of everything from Futurama to the Mary Tyler Moore Show to Scooby-Doo. So it's fun times. Tim's been on a few times.
It is. I got to be on a Dick Van Dyke one a while back.
Yeah.
It was one of my... I rewatch every time I rewatch that, I have nostalgic memories of being on your podcast.
Hey, all right.
Noah, you been up to anything?
Nah. No. I mean, lots of stuff. We're doing Noah. We're doing our podcast still. After, was it how long is it? 8? No, not 18 years.
17 years.
17 years.
Oh wow.
And every week.
And almost 3 good episodes in those 17 years.
We're just trying to outlast every other podcast. WTF, they're gone.
Nerdist, they're gone. Smodcast, we took them down.
We're not the best, but we'll outlast them all. No. Well, just traveling, seeing lots of music this year. I downloaded this app where I track the concerts I see. So last year was like 44, and this year I'm already up to 37.
Oh, so wow, nice.
It's been kind of fun and cool.
I went to one concert 4 years ago.
That's more reason to me.
Last year I went to a barbecue festival in Texas. If you're into barbecue, I highly recommend it. And I'm sure so many other things. You said it's been 5 years since we did that?
Yep. It was.
Man, time flies.
And yet it seems like super long ago and also super recently at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, we just did that, but I'm like, that seems like eons. I don't know how both things can exist in my head at the same time.
Oh, my concept of time is gone.
Yeah, and this was the year that did it.
Yeah.
2020.
Yep.
As we're getting towards the end here, I did want to give some shout outs to some great people who were in the movie, but not on this call, just because Zencastr gets so wonky with too many people on it, as poor Justin found out the hard way. But I wanted to give some love to John Rice, who played Larry Tirapelli in Act 1. Kind of the reason the whole plot is set in motion. His character has a huge fight with Holly, but I didn't actually write any lines for him in that part, so he doesn't get to do any of the grunting acting that Emily had to do. But he did do a great job in the interrogation scene. Played the perfect Law and Order type character who's like, I'm not going to give you nothing, copper. Did a really good job and a great way to start off the movie. John, if I could have figured out a way to work you back into the movie, I definitely would have. Also, a few more podcaster guests. Kristen Nowicki, who is our band leader on the podcast, formerly of the Mousetalgia podcast, and currently creating awesome stuff on Board Teak. She did me a favor by playing the Port Caldwell police chief and was just what I pictured a police chief in a Hallmark movie sounding like. And finally, Jacqueline Collier, who was at the time hosting the official Hallmark podcast, Bubbly Sesh, she did us a huge favor by unofficially blessing our little proceeding with her presence. She's actually got a Hallmark movie coming out called Double Scoop on August 23rd.
Oh, not a Christmas one.
No, it's not a Christmas movie, but she was in the CBS Christmas movie Fit for Christmas. She's a working actress and producer and director. In fact, she has a short film that she wrote and directed that's going to be at the Chain NYC Film Festival on August 15th.
Oh, wow.
But like Jeffrey mentioned earlier, Jax and her then boyfriend, now fiance, did me a last-minute favor by doing a post-credit scene. I thought it'd be funny to have a Marvel-style coda at the end of the movie, but it was just supposed to be a joke, not an actual tease for a sequel, because if we ever do want to do a sequel, I've kind of written myself into a corner. Well, I gotta write myself out of that corner because I'm officially announcing later this year, A Bomb for Christmas is getting a sequel.
Yeah.
All right. And everybody on the call has agreed to come back.
I can't wait to find out how I come back.
Everybody uses the same voice translator.
Justin said he'll get a new microphone before we record that. I should, maybe a hint is it's called A Bomb for Christmas, Past, Present, and Future.
Imagine what that means for yourself.
And yes, so this time around, Tracy is going to actually be the main character.
Nice.
And I'll give you the sort of the slug line, kind of like last one was Die Hard meets a Hallmark movie. This one is Die Hard 2 meets A Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just waiting until we get to Die Hard or Bomb with Vengeance. Vengeance. We get Samuel Jackson here.
Bomb hard with a vengeance.
Live Free or A Bomb for Christmas. Well, I want to thank everybody for being in the movie originally. I mean, I know I thank you individually via emails, but I don't think I've ever said. I've never had the chance to say thank you so much for I had this stupid you have an idea and you're like, does anybody want to do this? And then you all did, and you all did such a great job, and you're also enthusiastic about it. Almost.
Seeing Tim rubbing Dynelle's arm.
But you're married to me, so you gotta do stuff. So yeah, thank you. So thank you for that, and also thank you for being on this call, and thank you to everybody who listened. And if anybody wants to say anything before we go, I will. I'll just leave it open to the group.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited to have another opportunity to work with you.
Yeah, thanks. This was awesome.
Yeah.
We loved it.
Yeah. Thanks so much, Tim. Yeah, I'm really excited too. So
Let's get the script, Tim. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm so far. I'm only I haven't even finished the first act yet, but I'm so overly concerned with logistics that I needed. I was telling my wife about this on our walk. I was like, well, wait. If Tracy is off and Holly is off, who's working? I'm worried about the scheduling of the actual police department, as though I'm in HR or something. It's a movie. Don't worry about it. For some reason, they're both off.
People are going to be nitpicking this.
Yeah, they're going to be, look at these plot holes right here.
Cinema sins.
All right. Well, thank you guys again, and we look forward to seeing you with A Bomb for Christmas, Past, Present, and Future later this year. And until then, Yule Believers, keep laughing all the way.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
all right. Thanks so much, Tim.
Play us out, imaginary listener who sings kind of like Kermit the Frog. We're doing a sequel. Holly and the gang are back. And they're gonna have to stop another Christmas attack. We're doing a sequel. There'll be some twists and some turns. You'll have to tune in to see how Alana returns. We're doing a sequel, and any lawyer can see we changed enough words to make the song count as a parody.
And that was Christmas 1983.
Actually, Dad, it's 2025.
Oh.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Can't Wait for Christmas podcast. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to us at Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, if you leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, aka iTunes, and email us about it at christmas@10cast.com, we'll send you a free Can't Wait for Christmas sticker. If you'd like to see the show notes or leave a comment on this or any other episodes, you can go to our official website, can'twaitforchristmaspod.com. While you're there, you'll find a link to our official Zazzle store, where you can grab customizable t-shirts, ornaments, stickers, and all sorts of other Christmas-themed items all year long. We'd love to connect with you on social media. On Blue Sky, we are at Christmas Pod, and on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads, we are at Can't Wait for Christmas Pod. We Wish You a Merry Christmas was performed by the United States Marine Corps Band, and this amazing version of Jingle Bells on the accordion was performed by the wonderful and talented Christian Nowicki. All other music and sounds used in this episode are the properties of their individual copyright holders, and they are used for purposes of commentary and review. No infringement is intended. Okay, boys, did I forget anything?
God bless us, everyone.
Merry Christmas!
Edward Frizzle at... Wait, am I saying that right? Frizzle?
Frizzell, yeah.
Oh, Tim.
No relation.
Noah from the TanCad No, not like I've been saying that for 16 years. Why would I know it? Justin? Oh, wait. Your mic is out. Hey, look, we found another part for the outtakes. And we're back. Actually, I don't remember what we were talking about when the audio died.
With some of the Jimmy Stewart.
Well, we were talking about that while the audio died.
Edward was talking about George and...
Yes.
Oh, how he thought that Bobby was the...
Oh, right.
I can't remember what I was saying, but yes, George.
It's July 25th, 2025, and that means there's 5 months left until Christmas. It also means it's the 10th anniversary of the Can't Wait for Christmas podcast. I sound like I forgot the name of my own show. Let's do that one time more and try and convince people I know the name of my show after 10 years. It's January. No, it's not. Geez, mini Christmas. Greetings, you believers, and welcome to the 10th anniversary episode of the Can't Wait for Christmas podcast. The podcast all about Christmas history, Christmas traditions, Christmas media, and everything. Again, 10 years. We spent a whole year picking the best version of Jingle Bears. What? That doesn't even make any sense.
Excuse me, let me in.
Do we get to be in there? Hello?
Excuse me.
It's over?
Seriously?
We missed it all?
Are you serious right now?
Hello?
No, I'm leaving.